Bob Myers, special consultant.
They're taking advantage of the fact that players and celebrities are public figures, and they're.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo that is Let's Talk Football. And happy Sunday to you. Hallelujah. So glad we are back and football is back. College was here yesterday. The last preseason games have happened. We are very close to kickoff for the opening weeks of this football season. And I'm so excited. But you know I'm never alone. You know I got to be here with my homegirl, Tina. It's cold outside in winter. What up, Tina Winter?
I expected those winter jokes a long time ago, but that's a good one. I'm good, Sean. I enjoyed my game. I'm not sure you did.
Nope, did not. You see, I'm not wearing burgundy.
Yeah. Well, I'm
white because I'm putting a white flag on.
I'm giving it. You know what? It's preseason. That's what I just keep telling myself every time there's something going on. And like, even over on my side, people are like, Bo Nix hasn't been playing. I'm like,
it's preseason.
It's preseason. Mm-hmm. It's really not about the first stringers. It's about the process, not results.
Exactly.
Because, like we said in an earlier show, this is about finding who is going to stay, who's going to be replaced, who's going to be on, who's going to be on the practice squad, that kind of stuff. So it's really not about the big boys.
Yeah,
I'm done. I'm off my pedestal. I'm done preaching. I'm out of the pulpit.
Right.
I'm heading out the door.
I'm good with them struggling. Now, I will say, getting beat 30-3 and getting beat 48-18 in the first game, not good looks. In fact, even the Bengals we lost by 2 touchdowns. So I'm very worried about my backups. But just preseason.
That's a valid. That is a valid point.
You know, especially somebody with a famous last name. But we won't go there. We won't go there, all right?
Please let us special teams play yesterday.
Hey, if something happens, they might trade him to you guys. I mean, that could be a dream come true.
He'd probably go to the 49ers before he'd go to us.
Yes. And speaking of that, there are some players that definitely went to the 49ers from Washington. We know Adam Peters was there, and we'll talk about that a little bit later because I got some things to say. But Tina, you had mentioned something to me earlier this week, and it really caught my attention, and enough so that you and I both did a little bit of a deep dive to it. There was a reporter that in the middle of the preseason game asked Dylan Gabriel essentially a question about kind of his work ethic and kind of who he is as a quarterback, what he's expecting, and used the phrase entertainer. Dylan Gabriel kind of said, I'm a competitor, not an entertainer, trying to get a hold of it. And social media does what they do, and they took it up and ran with it. We're going to show you the clip of what he said in the interview and then kind of how he clarified it after, and then we're going to talk about it in a little bit. Very interesting. And Tina, when you first told me about it, I had some choice words myself.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. All right, here we go.
And you don't let it infiltrate yourself. Will you share that with everybody at home?
Yeah, I think it's just part of it. There's entertainers and there's competitors, and I totally understand that. And my job is to compete, and that's what I'm focused on doing. Of course, we're doing this mid-game, but it's something that I'll get used to, and just want to be the best team that I can and create an environment where we can all go do our best work. That's all we want to do. All you in this room are.
You could never outrun me.
Well, yeah.
Will you share that with everybody at home?
Yeah, I think I remember it. There's entertainment talking. And my job is to compete, and that's what I'm focused on doing. Of course, we're doing this mid-game, but it's something that I'll get used to, and just want to be the best team that I can and create an environment where we can all go do our best work. That's all we want to do. All you in this room are entertainers, and you have a job to do. and I respect it, right? And I'm a competitor, so I have a job to do as well. And I think, just understanding that, that's how I've lived by, and I've said that multiple times. So definitely not a new quote, but something that I've definitely said before.
You were referring to media?
Yeah, I just said that, yeah.
So it says referring to the media. Tina, what do you think about
it? I think it was a horribly phrased question. I think the sideline reporter, she had an idea in her mind, which was to show, like, because everybody knows the Browns are going through a quarterback controversy right now. They're all competing with each other, and that was the point. I think that's what her point was to show, like, he's in this competition and he's doing it. But this is a really bad question in my mind, because essentially he's leading him in to what happened on social media, which is everybody jumping in and saying, are you calling Shador an entertainer? And then he's not a competitor and he's not a football player. Like I get it. I kind of, and I don't buy his explanation that he was talking about the media. I think he was talking about players, because we all know them. There's entertainers on every team, and some of the best entertainers I've enjoyed. I mean, you skip forward and you show Shannon Sharp. He's an entertainer, but he's also a damn good football player.
Exactly.
So like that just like you and I went back and forth, and I had a little bit of time to think about some of the things that we were going back and forth on, like I'm sure you did too. And I come back to what I just said. It was a bad question. It was framed horribly.
Yeah.
She didn't think about what could be the connotation of that. Because what happens is you have those sideline reports, and as you saw, like on social media, they're not showing the whole clip. They're not showing her question and his response. They're just showing his response.
Right.
So again, I will give the pulpit to you.
Yeah. Good God. That was when I first heard it, obviously, I just like social media got stuck on the word entertainer, and how it's hard not to. I mean, you and I talked about it. We saw on Good Morning Football, they discussed it, and even Monty Tail was saying, this is not what he's trying to say. If you read into it, that's on you, X, Y, and Z. But it's hard. It's hard not to. I mean, Shador is a flashy dude. We all know him for the whole thing, rolling wrist thing in college. And it's even harder because when you look at where Dylan Gabriel went, he went to the University, and Oregon coach Dan Lanning actually, when they played Colorado, had a huge press conference, it was talking to the team, and they had video in the locker room talking to the team. He's like, we're not out here dancing and doing all this stuff. We're not out here, kind of gallivanting around. We're here to play football. You don't come into our house, and really gave this passionate speech. And so that's where when you say entertainer, it's almost kind of like Dylan was a quarterback on that Oregon team. They killed Shador and all that stuff, and he's kind of like, I'm a competitor, not an entertainer. So I understand. You could understand where it could have, without context, been taken very far. For me, especially after looking at that interview, and then kind of you and I talking and everything, and me minimizing the word entertainer. I just emphasized that, and I just magnified that. And what does he mean? And how are these all? Because to your point, Shannon Sharp. I mean, to some people, Tom Brady's an entertainer.
Ray Lewis, Tom Brady.
These guys are all entertainers. So, and even Cam Newton came out when he was in the league. He said, "I want to be an entertainer." He wants to and I mean, at the end of the day, that's what they're doing for us. They're entertaining. Handy said, "Wait, pick me. I know the answer, right?" I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to take from it what you want to take from it. And that's more on the people on social media, who you can take what they say with a grain of salt. But you and I, and this is what I like about Tina, is that we have our initial thoughts. And if we had gone that day, I don't know that
it would have been 30 minutes of just
right. I would not have been PG. I'm going to tell you that. But now, to your point, after looking into it and reading into it, he kind of answered the question. She asked him about it, and he kind of said, well, I'm not trying to do this as opposed to that. But I also agree with your point. I don't buy what he said after the fact because saying the media's entertainers, no, they're covering the entertainers. Like you should have just been like, that's not what I meant and kept moving. But
Or if that was
he's
his
always going to
thought,
be under the microscope.
he didn't completely explain it. If his thought was, because he kind of said it like, well, we're doing this in the middle of a game. Like, so the media, like, he realizes that media is part of this. Media is going to be asking these questions. So you have to play the game. This game between I'm a football player and I'm a quarterback, i.e., everybody thinks I should be the face, mind, and soul of the team and be the number one leader. Yes, I am making reference to Jay Cutler not wanting that job. Like, everybody sees the quarterback as that person, and not every quarterback wants to be that person.
Absolutely.
But fans, media kind of push that on them. And so they have to be aware of the game. They have to be aware of where the money is and all of it. So if he was saying, like, it doesn't mean, like, I'm here to compete, you guys can take what you want from what I say. He didn't flesh it out. And that's the problem is a lot of times you can't flesh these thoughts out. That's why you have PR people. But if he had just released a statement on Instagram saying, this is what I meant, kind of like what the reporter did, which I kind of go and find her response about it. I think it's also I got to fix this.
That's definitely what it is.
But if he hadn't come out and like actively addressed it, he would be in worse shape. It would. I mean, at this point, people are on one side or the other. He meant what he said what he said, or, oh, okay, I can see it that way. And in today's society and what we've got going on with social media and other things, there's lines. So,
especially nowadays.
Yeah,
especially
it is what it is. So, I mean, I'm not going to lie. Quarterbacks have to be very careful about what they say.
Yeah.
Because you are representing the team. So,
and whether he likes it or not, he is in the spotlight for no other reason other than the fact that Shador is also there. So there's a lot of cameras. A lot of people want to see Shador succeed or Shador fail. So for you to be around that, you kind of gotta, be aware of your surroundings. Like, and a lot of things you can't. This is not going to be a situation where the things you say are just going to get overlooked and moved to the side. Like, you're going to have to, be careful with what you say. And I think that's what the things, at least from the videos that you and I have seen and everything, that's been kind of the consensus. Like, you just got to be careful. You have to know the environment. And in Cleveland, what else we have to talk about in Cleveland? I mean, come on now. Joe Flacco's your starting quarterback. Like, we how long did we talk about Kirk Cousins at a Chipotle in Cleveland? That's how much attention we put on y'all. So come on now.
Yeah, I mean, exactly this. This is exactly it. They didn't think anyone was going to see this clip, because it was the Browns in a preseason game. Yeah. Nobody's really watching the sideline reporter during this game. But because of what was said, it got picked up, and through social media is the one that threw it out. And exactly it. They both realized after the fact that we got to fire. We gotta fix this.
We gotta put it out.
Yeah. Now I do give him the media savvy Shador stayed out of it essentially. He didn't say anything. He just kept grinding.
Nope. Grinding and kept entertaining. Oops. Yeah. Did I say that? Yep. So we'll see. But again, we are giving Cleveland more time than I think they deserve. Their dumpster fire will commence in a week and a half. So we'll see how this whole thing plays out.
Based on my experience with Flacco, I give him 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Before
it's not going to be good.
One of the backups.
One of these guys is going to be. Yeah, one of these guys is going to be entertaining us soon enough. So I'm eager to see which rookie.
He entertained himself right to the backup quarterback and on the bench when he played for the Broncos. He lost out to rookies, people. I don't
Yes.
care what he did in those 3 games in your
But
magic
but
season
that's the point
2
though. The
years
last
ago.
3 games that he had in Cleveland, he took them to the playoffs. Who's the last quarterback to take him to the playoffs before that? Baker. So they'll take what they can get right
And
now.
what happened when they got to the playoffs? They got spanked.
Look, all I know is they got there. Okay.
He's still riding on that Ravens Super Bowl win.
Hey, he's won it. Like,
He didn't
oh wait a
win it.
minute.
The defense won it.
Look, we're not getting
I'll
into
die
this.
on that
Yeah,
hill. I will die on that hill.
just like you'll die on the fact that Sauce Gardner is not as good as your boy. Which, you know what?
I got proven true.
I gotta prove it true too. Oh, we gonna see. We got to get on to
I
this.
got better numbers. I should
Yeah,
say my numbers are less.
yeah. In football years, Flacco's ready for AARP, that special stuff for seniors. Yeah, and Jello desserts. Yeah, buddy, that's our buddy Anthony Handy.
I'm not a huge fan of Ray Lewis, and I'll still defend that they got
Oh,
in that Super Bowl because
good
of that
gracious.
defense.
Here
Ed
we
Reed and
go.
those guys, yeah.
They helped. They helped. Look, we got to move on. Tina, we got some stuff to talk about that is right down I-95. It is not that stupid game that we saw, or this sorry excuse of a game that we saw yesterday. Before that, there was some moves in this town we call Washington. A running back got traded.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sitting there looking, and Robinson had 14 games, 187 carries for 799 yards for 8 TDs, and then he had an additional 14 catches for 159 yards. What the hell's happening? Like, how did it go so bad so fast? No, it's your pulpit.
I don't know what to say. I
Because
don't look.
I drafted this guy as my fantasy running back in the past.
Yeah.
So, come on, explain.
I don't. I'm not going to lie to you. First and foremost, I don't agree with the move. I don't agree with the move. I am in the minority in Washington. A lot of Washington fans have been getting ready to get rid of this guy since year 2. Like a lot of them, obviously, he's had injuries. You know, he has not really been able to complete a season. You talked about over 700 yards on the ground. One of the knocks on him is he has not been able to get 1,000 yards in a season after he's been here, I believe, 3 years.
Is that his
I,
fault though?
that's but when people are getting on somebody, they don't blame the many holes that we had elsewhere. So
Oh,
one of the things that they said recently is that he didn't fit the scheme. He's more of an I form running back, old school style running, and we have more of a fast paced speed offense, and we need somebody more explosive. They're trying to say, but the problem is the replacement most likely seems to be a 7th round pick named Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, which shout out to him. I'm glad he's doing well. I hope he does great. But for us to sit here and think that a guy that didn't play at all last year, only played 1 game in college last year, to come in now and to be able to take over this role, like it's baffling to me. Now it's looking like we're going to be running back by committee. We got Austin Eckler still. We have Rodriguez and McNichols, and obviously Krosky Merritt. But I'm not for this movie. Personally, I'm not for it. I don't like it. But as people have told me, this is a business. This is what happens, Tina. So there it is.
But it also kind of, for this to happen the way that it did, and I also heard like he was sitting out and stuff. It sounds like he wasn't happy there either.
Could be. I mean, he got shot. He got shot his rookie year, and like it still came back. So maybe he didn't like the area. Maybe he wasn't happy with how the new things were going. But to your point about his stats, to the end of last year, after they kind of talked to him and everything like that, up until the championship, he was legit. He was solid for us, getting hard yards for us and things of that nature. But with the injury issues and the fact that in that championship game he was basically non-existent, we need that running game to take pressure off of our quarterback, and he's not. He doesn't have that explosion, and you saw that last week. You definitely didn't see that yesterday because we didn't score any touchdowns. But you saw that last week we scored 17, where you had Rodriguez break for a 40 or 50-yard run, and Krosky Merritt broke for a 30 some odd touchdown run. Like those are things that B-Rob wasn't doing. Like he can get those short yards, but he wasn't breaking for 30 and 40 yards. And we need more of a Clinton Portis type back. And right now we have more of just a grinder and stuff like that. So I'm not for it. I understand it, but
yeah,
is what it
believe
is.
me,
I wish he would have gone to y'all. Y'all would have. He would have been good.
We're actually going to have issues with our 53-man roster with our running backs because JK came. So we have JK. We have I'm losing their names now. McMillan and who's the other guy? Estime may not even make the team this year. And we just drafted him last year.
Really?
Yeah. Him and Bidet are kind of competing against each other. So I think we'll see what happens with Dobbins, but Dobbins has a lot to prove in our division. So
because then you get him from the Chargers.
Yep, we got him from the Chargers. So he's got something to prove in the AFC West right now.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
Yeah. So and that's the thing. Like a lot of people are gonna say it. I have said it about it. Like, oh, you guys got no stars on your team. Yeah, we don't have a Metcalf. We don't have a CD Lamb, but we got a solid group and deep group of receivers and running backs. They may not be the number one guy on your team, but wealth of riches has caused my team to trade one of my favorite younger guys. So I mean, it happens. It happens.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, real quick, Tina.
Yeah.
I want to get into that, but before we do that, there has been some breaking news. My guy, my former quarterback, Sam Howell. I just found out it literally just broke across the wire right now. The Carson Wentz reaches an agreement. He's going to the Vikings. Sam Howell is traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. What? Are you serious? Oh my God. Oh God. I said I wanted you back in the NFC. I don't want you for my rival. Why? Sam.
He gets to sit on the Eagles bench and gets paid to do nothing.
God, Sam. What?
It's a business.
Oh,
I get it. Oh, I get it. I do get it.
Okay. Yeah. With that being said, I just need a minute. You talk about your Broncos. I'm just hurt.
So I am Nicole. It was like, you guys better treat him right. So Devon Vele was just drafted last year. He was actually a pretty good rookie. He had 13 games, 41 receptions, 475 yards, and 3 TDs. And towards the end of the game, his game was picking up good. And I was so looking forward to seeing what he could do this year. Because he's actually very tall too. He's like 6'5". He's a big guy. He is older. He's 27, so he's a little older than a lot of people. But from what I understand, Sean Payton wanted him. He was going to use him. And they started fielding calls from the Saints and the 49ers and a couple of other teams that needed a wide receiver. And so the Broncos made a deal with the Saints for a 2 picks, 2026 fourth rounder and a 2027 7th round pick. So on average, this is the stat that just kills me. On average, because you know the numbers, people will come up with averages for every pick or whatever. For his position, they're averaging that those 2 picks together are worth $6.05 million.
Wow.
George Pickens for the Steelers. That trade, they got a third rounder and it's only worth $5.2 million. I think Sean might have fleeced his old team a little bit. Sorry, Nicole. Like everybody's like, of course Sean's trading with his old team. It's like, yeah, it happens. He knows those guys. Well, it's not just Sean. It's George Payton, the GM, got some good stuff. And depending on how the Saints do, those picks could be really interesting. But so I was reading about this, and this is for Nicole if she ever watches it and everything. It looks like he's going to be a good fit in their system. He knows he's played slot, so he should fall in right in with Olave and Shaheed. It's not going to be there competing. It should be a good pick. And he's the tallest guy on the team. So
that's a good thing.
Yeah. So it should be good. I'm not happy because I like this kid. I almost went out and bought another 87 jersey with Vele on the back of it because I wanted to see what he would do.
Oh, yeah.
Spend the money.
Yeah.
Get it from China.
Where'd you go? Right? Hey,
Yeah.
Hey, my guy Mei Ling takes care of me.
We're not paying the real price for those things.
What Vele where did he come from? Was he in Chicago? That's not that guy, right?
No, I don't think that's
okay.
That. Hold on.
Okay.
I should have looked that one up ahead of time. I forgot what school he came from. I never because I was talking about college ball that much. I was
talking about where he got drafted to. Did he get drafted to you guys?
We drafted him. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. No, I'm talking about somebody different. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we drafted him. He was 6th round, I think he was. 6th round or 4th round. Hold on, let me look.
While we're waiting, Anthony says, I got a question. Thanks so much for you. Had a question for Puka. The Jaguars are thinking about adding Ange and T as cheerleaders. T plans to show off the waist beads every halftime. What are your thoughts? Comedy hours, our guy Anthony Handy.
Okay, he's gotten me back for every time I've gotten him to break on camera.
He's waiting. That's what he's waiting for. He tells me off camera.
I know.
Good old Handy.
Oh. I'll save my thoughts for when it happens. Is gonna be my answer.
Right. Oh me. Anything else you guys have done recently?
There's a lot of talk that Bo is a little rusty, that he didn't play well in the preseason. Stidham played very well. Stidham definitely kept his backup quarterback position. So Pat Bryant's looking pretty good for those fans of Illinois. And it looks like, we'll see, it's looking like the magic from Oregon is starting to gel between Nix and Troy Franklin. So, yeah, but other than that, not really. I mean, the bigger news is they're working on possibly trying to find a new stadium for the Broncos. The Waltons are exploring options. When you got Walton money, you can have Walton properties.
but moving from Mile High?
Well, they want to do like what a lot of the other baseball and football, like make it more like a complete complex. Like right now, Mile High is like, I hate to say it, it's in the middle of a parking lot. I mean, it's a wonderful stadium, beautiful stadium and everything. It's just kind of in the middle of everything. And then like the bars and the restaurants, you have to go a little bit further to get to. So there's shuttles back and forth.
Okay.
So they're more trying to make it more like a complex kind of thing.
Yep. Same thing.
So like I said, when you got Walmart money, you can do Walmart spending.
Yeah.
Yay.
Well, just be thankful. Just be thankful that the current president doesn't have special ties to your area, where he could say, "I'm going to stop the building of this stadium if you don't do what I say.
He's not going to.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know that. But he's posturing himself because we got
He's
the draft
posturing himself,
supposedly
I agree.
coming. We got a bunch of stuff possibly coming to the city.
Yeah.
But you know how he does his thing.
We had the draft a couple years in a row, and it's neat. I will
Yeah.
say having the
Yeah.
draft there is neat, but it's a logistical nightmare.
Oh yeah.
It's
I'm not for any of
traffic.
this.
Yeah, it's if it doesn't come to your city, be happy. I mean, you
Mhm.
don't
Well,
make as much money as you think you're going to make.
oh yeah.
So,
And I don't know if you've noticed, but our city is a little overrun apparently. So maybe they don't want to bring the draft here. Listen, we're about to head out of here. We really quickly, I wanted to ask you this. We've been teasing this segment for a couple weeks to show me the money. Terry McLaurin, Trey Hendrickson, and Micah Parsons still have not been signed. For us, Terry, because he does not want to be fined for his little hold in, he is back at practice. He's back kind of on the sidelines. He still has a year left on his contract, so technically he's got to play. And the way things are potentially looking, they might play him this year, franchise tag him next year. We'll see what happens. But this is not resolved. Trey Hendrickson, apparently the Bengals are talking trade potentially. They're hearing.
Raiders. I'm hearing Raiders.
I've heard Raiders. We were on that short list for a while, and then obviously we got stuff going on. But out of all of these guys, I think the most disgruntled, at least it appears that way, is Micah Parsons.
You gotta post Andy's comment.
Right. Exactly. Not in Jersey. Right, laying down on the medical bench on the sidelines in practice. If you know a bigger fu to the owner, especially when that Netflix series came out and he's doing it right around that time. Yeah. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens there. But Tina, with looking at these three, who do you think, will any of them get a contract or anything before the season?
Trey would be the one I'd put money on not getting a contract.
Mm-hmm.
But Micah's going to get a contract. He's just going to cost Jerry Jones a lot more money than he really wants to spend.
Arm and a leg. Absolutely.
And Terry will probably get a contract. He's just not going to get it before the season starts. It's going to be throughout the season. They'll be negotiating because because he's got a year left on his contract. There's no real push on either side. Like the business side doesn't have him over a barrel because he needs a new contract or he won't be playing. He doesn't have them over a barrel because they need him in order to play throughout the season. There's just no real push on it. And that shows with Terry showing up because Terry knew if he didn't show up, he was gonna get fined. So,
and he realized he really don't have a.
I get it.
Yeah, but he also realizes. I mean, essentially, the word is out that he's looking for 30 million a year. Okay, that's not what Chase and all those guys are getting. That's around what DK's getting. Your boy Sutton just got what 23. So,
and I'd put him more in the Sutton category, not to be
right.
mean or anything.
No, it's the truth. It's the truth.
As I said earlier, like my guys might not be first round, might not be number ones on other teams, but he's number one on my team. So you've got.
That's it.
But again, like we said, it's a business and it's about him making his money. He's put in the grind. He's put in the time. He wants to get as much money as he can because this is probably his last full contract that he can make that kind of money. So I have no problem with him doing it. I just think it's funny that he sat out and then all of a sudden he's like, well, I'm back. Well, yeah, you're back because you're going to lose 50 grand, which is
and that's the thing. Yeah, it's not he's back because he's a good person. He's back because financially, he needs that. But that's to your point. I think that's the biggest thing, and it's how people are looked at. Like you're talking about, if some of your receivers go to another team, are they a number one? Terry, if he goes to a lot of teams in the league, he's not a true number one wide receiver. And I get it. for us, really what he wants, it appears that what he really wants us to be paying him for is the loyalty to the team, him
Exactly.
being that consummate pro, that guy all these years. And for that, if it was up to me, of course I would do that. I would give you the money. You've been here with me. But that's why I'm not a businessman, okay? Because I can't make those hard decisions.
That's why
So
it's good that fans don't make the business decision.
exactly. So, and I think that's the biggest thing for Terry. Like, it's no disrespect to him, but this is kind of how this stuff plays out. To your point, he already got one extension, so that kind of put him to where he's at now. And you really haven't done the elite level stuff to get you up to somebody that's making 30 or something like that. They've kind of floated around the number of like 27, something like that. He's gotten 1,000 yards every season with crappy quarterbacks. We can finagle that, maybe throw some incentives in there, some guaranteed money, whatever. But I can't float 30.
If you guys had gone further in the playoffs and won the Super Bowl, I think we'd be having a different conversation.
Absolutely. Yeah. And he can't do that. And don't disrespect, like, he can't do that himself. You need a team around you to do it. But at the same time, if you
your team like mine was not expected to do what they did
at all.
And they had holes. So that's kind of my point about Robinson too, is like your line was good, but it wasn't perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So is it really all his fault that he can't, like, what's going on? And it always comes down to, whenever you're talking about running backs, if you draft them, was like, well, he didn't fit in our scheme.
Right.
Well, when he was drafted, he did fit your scheme.
Right.
Because you wouldn't have drafted him otherwise.
Yeah.
Now you've changed the scheme. New coaches have come in. And then, so at this point, if you're not going to use me the way you need to use me, trade me. Because, I get it.
Well, that's part of it is the fact that, what's his name? Part of it is the fact, like what you said, he's drafted by Ron Rivera. And part of that, and what we've seen in Washington, is whenever you get a new regime in there, what do? They try to get out a lot of the old guard. They want to bring in their guys. B-Rob is one of the last of the old guard. There's been a number of draft picks that we've gotten rid of since being here, and B-Rob is one of the last of those guys. And so this could be partially that. I mean,
Sean did the same thing. Sean did the same thing. Yeah. Everybody's making fun of us about how many times us and the Saints are trading players back and forth and stuff. Well, that's because he knows the players. He knew those guys. He knows the system. I'll admit I was not exactly on the bandwagon right away with him, but he's proven to me that I have enough that I'm going to let him do what he wants to do. He has his system. Let's go for it. But I get it. I feel bad for Robinson. I really do, because you're right. If he was one of the last ones out of the Ron Rivera system, he might not have been feeling like, no matter what the coaches told him, like, this just isn't working out for me. And let's both split and go somewhere else. And I'm glad that they were able to get a trade for him versus just cutting him. Because
I think this is good for him. I mean, he's going. The fact that Adam Peters is from San Francisco, right, and we know about running back
ankle and a leg made of glass, apparently. So he
might get some time.
And also, the head coach's name, Shanahan. Shanahan is an old school running back guy.
Yeah,
one cut and go. That's it. Set it up. But that's because of his dad and everything. So I mean, it's time for him to prove that this was a good thing and that it was the right decision to make. But I had a feeling a lot of that your town was a little on the half and half on this issue.
So some people, I think it might be 75-25. Like, there's a lot of people, and I didn't realize this until these rumors started coming out. There's a lot of people that are like, yo, yeah, he wasn't good. He wasn't great. And I'm like, what? Are y'all serious right now? Like, I get it. Okay, he's not breaking the 1,000. He's not getting all the yards, whatever. But we have a running back by committee. It's been a while since we had one main guy like a Clinton Portis, or even like when we had AP for a couple years. Like, we don't have
Nobody
that.
has those players anymore.
Right. You don't have the
You
Saquon.
burned through
Eric
them in
Kendricks.
3 years.
Mhm.
Saquon, now he's a ghost, not a ghost, but a different character. Like he's just
Mhm.
made differently.
Mhm.
But like that's the
Mhm.
reason why Terrell Davis really only had 3 years. It's the reason why Clinton Portis, what was it? 6, 7?
Yeah, because how long did he play for y'all?
He played a year and a half, I believe.
Okay, I
Maybe
think he gave
2.
us about 4.5 or 5. I know 1 year he was
Okay.
hurt because he broke his
Yeah.
collarbone.
But when he played for us, he was more back. He was a backup to Terrell. That's how he
Oh, yeah.
started out. So, I mean, but like 1 year, the Broncos had 3 running backs that had over 1,000 yards.
Mm-hmm. God.
And that's what everybody's like, that's what they're looking for. And it's like, that's not the way the running backs are used now.
No.
You really
And the
need
system.
Yeah.
Right. The system's got to work for that. It works like that.
Yeah.
So
it happens. All right. Well,
there you go. There you have it. Show me the money. Handy, we appreciate you in the comments. As always, you made my homegirl break once. Just once. Watch yourself. We still got you, Handy. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, so much football is on. I'm currently going back and looking at all the college games that were on yesterday.
how about that Iowa State versus Kansas State game?
Absolutely.
I saw
Loved
parts
every
of
minute
that.
of it.
Yeah.
Loved every minute of it. There were so many good ones. I actually went back and I watched that one. I had to miss a couple of the other ones, but I'm going to go back and watch a lot of that today. But look, we're heading out of here. We appreciate you guys joining us. We appreciate you guys talking football. Breaking news. There's always going to be something going on in breaking news. So there's always going to be something to talk about. For my partner, Tina Winter, it is your boy, Sean Spencer. We will see you guys next time. Football's back, people. Watch it. Peace.
Washington had no hesitation in this offseason. They hired Bob Myers, a special consultant.
They're taking advantage of the fact that players and celebrities are public figures.